It's more than just the place where the continent's largest swamp converges with the country's third coast. It's where the ancient ways of Native Americans are not only preserved, but lived. It's a place where the spirit can worship.
The Cypress Swamp is my cathedral. I mean, how could you not just enjoy looking at them for hours and days and months and years?
It's a place of haunted landscapes and majestic beauty, where the symbol of the country finds refuge. Aren't you glad that this is the symbol of America instead of the turkey? Really, seriously. The Cajun Coast is a place where wildlife has many meanings. The Cajun Coast is where Hollywood first came to film The Lord of the Jungle. And it's where you can find your inner voice. The Cajun Coast is real Louisiana.
I tell everybody we are the real swamp people.
Except no substitutions.
I'm guessing you're gonna say your first Cajun word.
Which my first Cajun word?
Ay, ay, ay!
I got 5 more minutes till I get gone. And there ain't no changing the road I'm on.
Welcome to the Cajun Coast, St. Mary Parish, where swamp meets the Gulf. St. Mary not only encompasses the south-central portion of Louisiana's Gulf front property, but it embraces a natural treasure. And at its heart is America's largest river swamp, the Atchafalaya National Heritage Area. This fragile ecosystem is over 130 miles long, and wildlife photographer C.C. Lockwood has spent the better part of 40 years exploring each mile's mystery through his lens and through his words.
I've done a lot of projects with the Louisiana Marsh, and the marsh in Atchafalaya Bay, which is a good portion of St. Mary's Parish, is part of the prettiest part of the Atchafalaya. You always get to see so much, and it's just wonderful. It's just magical to be in something that's so massive, so old, so beautiful.
Spend any time with CC in Louisiana's vanishing coast, and you can see how preservation shapes his art and moves his soul.
The Cypress Swamp is my cathedral. It is a rich place, and it's rich because it's an overflow river basin swamp that starts in the hardwood bottomlands, goes through the Cypress Tupelo, into the coastal marsh, salt marsh, the bays, and the little islands out there. So all that blends together, and it really makes the Atchafalaya such a vibrant ecosystem. You know, it's 2.5 times more fish per acre than the Everglades.
He has probably spent time on every single bayou in the basin. And yet for CC, new discoveries always await.
You know, I'd like to say I know everything about the whole state of Louisiana, but just the Atchafalaya, or just the coastal marsh, or just St. Mary's Parish. I mean, you go out every day and you'd still see something different. And just the joy of a day, a joy of a lifetime.
Although always changing, the primitive beauty of the Atchafalaya remains alluring. It drew Hollywood here almost a century ago, and it cast a spell over 2 modern-day filmmakers who explored the Cajun Coast's connection to one of the first blockbuster movies ever.
The documentary my father and I made is called Tarzan, Lord of the Louisiana Jungle, and it's about the first Tarzan the Apes movie made in 1917 in Morgan City, Louisiana, of all places.
Did that surprise you that it was made here in Morgan City?
Oh yeah. My father and I made the documentary because we wanted to show a little bit of a history of Louisiana film.
Over a period of 4 years, Al Bowl and his daughter investigated the strange events of the summer of 1917, when with trainloads of equipment and exotic animals, actors and acrobats, Hollywood descended on Morgan City.
This was a major Hollywood production coming down the bayou. The filmmakers in Hollywood chose the Atchafalaya Basin as a location because it was similar to the African area that Burroughs had described in his novel.
Some 40 films later, Tarzan's celluloid success all comes back here.
As a filmmaker, I never realized how big the basin actually was, and it was great to go out there on the tour of the Cajun Jack and see how vast the swamp is.
For years, Cajun Jack's Swamp Tour has been taking fans of the Ape Man out to parts few other people have ever gone.
I remember one specific Tarzan fan. I think he was from around Indiana, and he come on the boat just to see where they filmed the Tarzan movie. And when we got to the spot, he just stood up and beat his chest like Tarzan and said, I've been wanting to do that all my life.
Well, there's a few different Tarzan yells that you could do. The first one that goes back to 1917 is the silent film yell, the Elmo Lincoln.
What was the Elmo Lincoln Tarzan scream like?
The Elmo Lincoln Tarzan scream was very theatrical. He would kind of jump into the frame and squat a little bit and then pretend, you'd be yelling, but you wouldn't hear it because it's silent.
Jump from the tree to the ground and go, ah!
There's an alligator right there.
Dude, the alligator's like 3 feet long.
I may pretend I'm Tarzan, but I'm not jumping in a swamp. Like the story of Tarzan, Louisiana's magic will continue to cast a spell on those looking to tell stories.
The reason why I choose to stay in Louisiana and make films is because it's unlike anywhere else in America, and that's inspiring.
The inspirational Atchafalaya has nurtured men for centuries. This is the native land of the Chitimacha, the people of many waters. Sherrington, Louisiana is the center of the sovereign nation of the Chitimacha, and it's where the tribe's museum stands as a testament to the courage of their ancestors.
When people come here, they will see a little bit about the tribe, but it's just a little piece of our history. It just tells them a little bit about our people.
As the Roman Empire was crumbling, the Chitimachas were settling around the bayous of South Louisiana.
Archaeologically speaking, the tribe's been in this area over 6,000 years. We're one of the only tribes in Louisiana that's originally from Louisiana and still remain on our homelands. The tribe was large at one time. We covered most of southeast Louisiana. This is all that's left.
Wars left the tribe near extinction, then prejudice almost erased a culture. But the Chitimachas survived.
Our people are resilient. Our people were strong. I don't know that some of us today could have endured the things that they endured, but they did, and we're just glad that they did for us.
The tribe has been able to keep their traditions, like the weaving of their river cane baskets, alive.
That's what my grandmother and them did, and that's what was passed down to them for our family. Well, actually, for me, there's a connection with the baskets and our tribe, our heritage, our history, because for me, our baskets have been around forever. And they've been passed down one generation to the next. So for me, when I'm working on it, there's something that comes from within here that goes into every basket.
There's some good baskets in this?
Not some baskets, but I'll get some cane out of that one. It takes a lot more than a stalk to make a basket. So, yeah, let's see. For me, when I get into the woods and get into the cane patches and stuff, I'm out doing the same thing that my ancestors did. My grandmother was a basket maker, my wife's grandmother, great-grandmothers. And growing up, I knew they made baskets, I saw it. And then I got to where I was older, and the wife and I, we started appreciating it more. And we'd bring our grandmothers out to gather cane. We knew how to peel cane. And just one day we sat down and, we really need to learn to make the baskets. And it just kind of comes to you that you got that, I don't know how to describe it, I had that yearning to do the basket. And we have people today that are showing interest in it. So, like I said, you appreciate it as you get older.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Like everything.
The baskets are world-renowned, but the locals also know about the other tribal enterprise, the Cypress Bayou Casino.
Las Vegas-style gambling right here in South Louisiana with the mix of the Cajun culture and the southern foods and the hospitality that you won't get out of Louisiana.
Louisiana's culinary reputation is only enhanced at Chef Scott McHugh's Mr. Lester's Steakhouse. It's fine dining that you don't expect to find outside of New Orleans.
People that haven't been here before are quite surprised. If you look, we're in the middle of a cane field. They come and they get a wonderful dining experience like this that they can't find anywhere around here. It's something very unique to the area.
A great meal is no gamble at Mr. Lester's, but the crew was looking for some action. And nothing is more dangerous than karaoke at Bocats.
St. Mary Parish, what's up?
I haven't done karaoke at Bocats. No, I'm not that brave.
And what's not to love? Everywhere we went, we were welcomed with open arms and smiling faces.
That's that just openness that, the tribe and the people have always had. And the friendly atmosphere and the welcome that the people give to everyone is the same thing that you get from our people, and it's the same thing that you see throughout Louisiana.
That tradition may be the greatest custom the Chitimacha have taught all that would later call Louisiana home. Traces of history are plentiful along the Cajun coast, from the cast iron street lamps and moss-covered oaks of Franklin, where a stay at the Fairfax House can slow today's pace to a relaxful southern crawl. It doesn't get any better than this, does it?
Oh no. Nice breeze in the air, having a glass of wine on the porch. Very southern.
Very southern. It is very southern. A short trip south to Patterson is a must for those in search of history and speed.
Nowhere else can you find a stable of golden age of air racing airplanes like you see right here. This is it.
This is the Wedell-Williams Memorial Aviation and Cypress Sawmill Museum. And not only are both first-class collections, the combo platter of history makes sense once you know the story.
Patterson was the home of the F.B. Williams Cypress Sawmill, the largest cypress sawmill in the United States at that time. And Harry Williams was the son of F.B. Williams, who met Jimmy Wedell when Jimmy flew into town as a salesperson for the Ryan Aircraft Corporation. And Harry, liking speed, he liked fast boats, he liked fast cars. Naturally, fast airplanes came into play, and they formed a partnership called the Wedell-Williams Air Service. And the planes were built right here with the backing of the Williams family. The money that was needed to build these planes came from the Williamses.
The aviation collection focuses on the legacy of aviation pioneers Jimmy Wedell and Harry Williams, who dominated the golden age of air racing and held many speed records of the time.
This plane actually set the land plane speed record for the world in 1933 at about 305 miles per hour.
Put this in my minivan, that's what I'm talking about. On the other side of the museum, and a little closer to the ground, is the Cypress Sawmill collection.
That is a fabulous history of the sawmill industry that begins with the cutting of the cypress in the swamp itself, transporting to the mills, the mill operation, how they milled it, how they stacked it, but it's a complete history and it's fantastic.
Documenting Louisiana's rich history, these duo displays are really dynamic, and the reaction from visitors is always the same.
Wow, that is phenomenal. We never knew or never understood how important or that really went on here in Patterson.
Before man took to the skies above the estuaries of the Cajun coast, the eagle and other birds of prey ruled the air. Years later, man not only threatened their reign, but put eagles on the brink of extinction. On a February morning, we set out on Cajun Jack's swamp tour with C.C. Lockwood to witness the raptor's comeback.
Endangered Species was one of my first projects, and I made a film about the Atchafalaya in 1977, and we filmed one of the 7 eagle nests in the state of Louisiana, and now there's over 500, and that's why the Eagle Expo is there, and they do a wonderful job down there, and it's a great place to visit during the winter at the festival or any time, because there's just almost 100% chance of seeing eagles. There's so many down there, and it's just a national symbol. It's just a wonderful bird. Just to see that beautiful white-headed bird flying is just great, and I got involved with the festival to teach a workshop. We talk about how to photograph birds, and we go out and actually photograph the bald eagle.
CC's seminar is only one part of this tribute to the return of the American bald eagle to Louisiana. The Eagle Expo has guided boat tours for birders, and it's also a great place to spot humans who have a passion for these birds. And nobody has a love and respect for these raptors like the husband and wife team of Dale and John Stokes from the nonprofit Wings to Soar. This is a different type of flight instruction. I do have a question here. This thing's got a hole right in here. Don't worry. Don't worry about the hole in the glove. John and Dale care for birds of prey that no longer could survive in the wild. And through their educational programs, they bring nature home. You bring out all these birds. Hey, you're all right, my friend. It's all gonna be okay. So I guess if you can't see the birds,
we bring
get
them
out there.
We bring them to the public. Bring them to you.
All right, Casey, you're doing great. Come on up here, kid. Hey, girl. Come on. Woo. Good job.
In this modern day where, you know, everything's about the virtual world, you know, people are, in a lot of cases, losing connection, you know, with the natural world. So this kind of reconnects people.
For a combined 58 years, John and Dale have had that connection to their fine-feathered friends.
You notice that he is missing his left wing. He was shot in the wild, laid on the ground for a number of days before he was discovered. He's very lucky to be alive, actually.
John has gone as far as to give a one-winged bald eagle a second chance to fly. Sharing that incredible story of the years of heartbreak that finally resulted in the eagle's return to the skies, and all the stories of the birds who took flight at the Eagle Expo. They revealed the connection we all share with the infinite splendor of nature. And these guys are out in the wild right here.
Absolutely.
Right in the swamp.
Yes, right in Atchafalaya Basin. There's bald eagles. And this is a wonderful time of year for them. They're nesting and producing youngsters.
And to get this close, you have to come to the Eagle Expo right here in St. Mary. That's a magnificent bird. There is a good reason why Louisiana is called the festival capital of America.
There's 457 festivals in the state of Louisiana, and people got to remember there's only 365 days in a year.
And in Morgan City, there is none bigger than the state's oldest chartered harvest festival, the Louisiana Shrimp and Petroleum Festival.
We show the world that shrimp and oil do mix.
Morgan City is the birthplace of the offshore oil and gas industry. This is where it all started.
In our area, for a very long time now, we have celebrated the two industries because they are the two industries that have made Morgan City what it is today.
And there are two harvest festivals put into one.
Once you realize that Louisiana produces more oil and gas than any other state, and that its seafood harvest is unrivaled in the lower 48, it makes perfect sense that every Labor Day weekend, this 5-day labor of love salutes the workers that fuel and feed the country. And they do it with an abundance of local food and music. When it comes to tradition, no event can equal the cultural significance of Sunday's Blessing of the Fleet.
The Blessing of the Fleet was started in 1937. It stems from a Catholic tradition where the shrimpers have their offerings blessed for having a good harvest, good weather, and now it's just a diverse, everybody comes in and has their boats blessed on that Sunday.
The blessing has reaped a bountiful harvest.
This is where the first large jumbo shrimp were ever caught out the mouth of the Atchafalaya in the Gulf.
And that bounty is usually on sale right off the boat during shrimp season. That's some jumbo shrimp.
That's nice shrimp.
That is the
look at those.
Look at that shrimp right there. That is the tastiest oxymoron you'll ever put in your mouth. Just down the street is Mr. Charlie, the only real offshore oil rig in the world where the public can come aboard.
The Mr. Charlie drilled from 1954 when it first went out to 1986. It's estimated Mr. Charlie drilled about 250 wells.
But that's not what made Mr. Charlie famous. This rig revolutionized the entire energy industry.
A man working here in Morgan City came up with the idea of a reusable, movable drilling rig, and his name is Doc Laborde, and he's known as the father of the offshore oil and gas industry.
Doc Laborde's rig is now on permanent display at the International Petroleum Museum and Exposition. Mr. Charlie is also a training facility.
I'm Captain Bob. We're going to demonstrate shipping paint. Here on the rig, Mr. Charlie, we teach deckhands how to get a job. We teach safety as well as hands-on. Great. You make an excellent deckhand.
I make an excellent deckhand. Captain Bob was going to learn that first impressions can be misleading. One shot. Here we go.
The good thing about the Mr. Charlie for training is we're able to do what you did. Put guys through actual situations. It also puts them in the environment to live here. Some of them see the community bathroom and shower room for the first time in their lives, and they see, is this what I really want to do?
Heads up!
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
A very good try.
Thank you, Bob. How long you been doing this?
About 70 years.
70 years. That makes you 85?
That's all.
85 and you're still out here.
Oh yeah, oh yes.
the guys that work offshore, either the supply boats or the crew boats, it's a special breed.
It is a special breed.
Basically, if guys weren't out there doing this, we wouldn't have...
We would be in a world of trouble. We would be in a world of trouble.
Doc Laborde's Mr. Charlie changed the world, and today it tells the story of its challenges and conquests.
Hopefully they'll have a deeper appreciation of what it takes to actually explore for, drill for, and produce the natural product of oil and gas that we need on a regular daily basis, not just for fuel, but for everything else we use.
On one side of the seawall is one of the country's busiest river intersections. On the other, the reason acclaimed chef Brian Blanchard came home.
Morgan City is the town I was born and raised. It's a fantastic place to be. Revitalizing downtown, right on the river. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. And we're serving some great food.
Great food means one thing at Cafe JoJo's.
Cajun food feeds the soul, man. It's wonderful. And good food never goes out of style. Cajun food is here to stay a long time.
Cafe JoJo's is also the best seat in the house for Morgan City's annual music series.
Rhythms on the River, we do it right on the river. Live entertainment, a lot of Cajun music, a lot of Zydeco, swamp pop, big thing around here, swamp pop. If I was not from here, this would be a place to be, to come check out. It's a fun time.
Swamp Pop is a special Louisiana blend of rock and roll, country, and soul, with a dash of hot sauce added for flavor. And nobody does it better than Don Rich.
Don Rich is the Swamp Pop man. He's fantastic. He's well known around here. People love him. If you like to dance, Don Rich will get you on your feet and keep you there for a long time.
There's no sitting down when Don Rich gets up to play. He's a fifth-generation Cajun musician with a soulful voice and an ability to play 7 instruments. But that's only part of the story. Don and his family have been crawfishing this basin for generations.
So this is your first time crawfishing?
I had no idea where crawfish came from.
No, you're kidding.
I just thought they jumped right in the pond. You just started the butane and then bam, they're there.
That'd be the case, bro.
Yeah,
We'd have 6%.
And I didn't think about this. I'm just reaching my hand in here.
Yeah, that's it.
Is there alligators and stuff?
Oh, don't worry about them. We know them.
You know them?
We know them by name.
You guys are just holding on, aren't you? Come on, you. Come on down here, lunch. Don's son, Michael, checks his 400 traps every day, usually without incident. Look at that. Those crawfish drew blood.
Now you're a true Cajun. As soon as the seasoning gets in there, you're going to be all right. Yeah.
So this was your life, crawfishing in the morning, music at night.
Pretty much it, yeah.
Does it get any better than this?
No, it don't. Not to me, bro. This is the ultimate, I think. I call it paradise itself. You know?
Paradise can also be found in a backyard with a family crawfish boil. Mash them down. I caught you, now I mash you.
Whenever I say bone, how do you do that?
Making a living off the bayou makes living off the bayou that much tastier.
You caught him?
I caught that guy. This guy's mine.
You recognize him?
When you have this around, what does it feel like?
It means I'm one of the happiest persons in the world when I have my family. If you ain't got your family, you ain't got nothing. You flat broke, in other words.
Don Rich, you're a rich man.
At heart, I am.
It's party time!
Family is at the heart of one of Don's favorite places to play, the weekend swamp party at Gros Marina.
Our kids, our animals, our family, that's what Gros is about.
The reason why I love to play at Gros Marina, brother, it's paradise. Look around. You can't find this nowhere else in the world. Don't get more Cajun than this, you know what I mean?
Go 6 miles down 4 Mile Bayou and take any mode of transportation available.
Boat, car, bus, plane sometimes, seaplane.
It's party time.
We used to have a party on the back porch every Saturday and Sunday. I'd cook and everybody stop by and we'd eat and drink and have a good time. And
We wouldn't make $1 with it. Now we make a few dollars with it.
yeah, I told her, let's do it and make a living with it, and it's working.
Telling me it's the Cajun way, Don found another way to put me to work.
You got to come to Gros Marina on Lake Verret to see what true swamp and Cajun culture is.
We are the real swamp people.
The Gros are more than that, and they're like all the people we met along the Cajun coast. Real generous, and real welcoming. As rich as this land between river and sea is in natural beauty, the real beauty is in the people who have made the Atchafalaya their home for generations. There is beauty in how they live and how they celebrate their culture with everything they do.
And that's how it's done in Louisiana.
Explore the coast with your own DVD copy of this and other episodes from Go Coast, Louisiana. To order, visit our website, gocoast.tv.